Space Shuttle, this is flight safety. Keep your hands on the handrail or inside the vehicle and remain seated while in motion. You are clear for launch. Have a great flight to Starport 75.
Hey, Glenn.
Hey, Chris, how are you?
Good. It's podcast recording night again, so.
It is.
So another paycheck coming my way.
Yep. I hope you're saving this money, man.
Well, I don't know. I seem to have not gotten the last about 37 checks. So
You haven't?
if you could get on that. I got bills to pay.
No, there's a expiration date on them, sorry.
Rats. Oh, well.
30 seconds to cash them.
I guess I'll just do it for fun then. All right. What's going on? Is this a news episode? What are we doing today?
No, we're just going to talk today and
okay.
talk about a couple things. But we'll start it off, and I have a question for you because you've said in the past, you don't like lines. You don't like waiting. Is that correct?
I do not, sir.
Is that correct? Okay,
that is correct.
All right. So now you've said a couple times, and so I need you to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you said that you would pay. You would be willing to pay to be able to ride rides with no wait. Is that
why does this feel like a trap? This feels like those movies where
absolutely a trap.
Where they put the net underneath the pile of leaves that's like strung up to the tree. Why does it feel like that?
All right, so here's the deal.
Yeah, but let me answer the question.
Okay,
because you asked me.
Go ahead.
Yes, but I believe I have qualified it in the past by saying if I were visiting, right? Because it's a different trade-off when I can say, well, I may just come back next time and do it next time. So it's a little bit different being local. But if I were coming down like I did in the olden times, and I was coming down for a week, I would absolutely do that. So go ahead. What have I walked into?
So here's the deal. So Disney now has early morning magic
I've seen this.
Programs for Hollywood studios.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for the low price of $80 plus tax per adult and $70 per child, you get early access, 90 minutes early access into Hollywood studios where Toy Story Land is open.
Okay. Is that all that's open?
I think it is. I've seen vlogs and I believe that is the only thing that's open is Toy Story Land.
So you're paying all that money just for Toy Story Land.
Yeah.
So that's not exactly what I'm talking about, but okay. Yeah, I think I've seen this. What is it called again?
Early morning magic.
Magic. The magic is we make the money disappear.
Right.
That joke's too easy. Okay.
So that works out to about $25 per ride, right? For the 3 rides that they have there: Toy Story Mania, Alien Swirling Saucers, and Slinky Dog Dash. So if you were going to buy, a fast pass, for $25.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's a tough one. So certainly, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, but you have to remember, you're not just riding it 3 times. You can ride it over and over and over.
I get that. Yeah,
okay.
Sure. Till you throw up on Slinky Dog Dash. I get it.
Uh-huh.
Huh. Would I pay that? So certainly now, being a local, I would not.
Okay.
I mean, they're literally attractions I didn't go on for years just because I wasn't going to wait in line. So Mine Train, one of them. I still haven't been on that. We've talked about that. But if I were coming down on a vacation, all right. So it was what, about $100 $80 a person.
$80 for adults, $70 for kids.
Yeah, 80 times 3, 4, so like $400.
Mm-hmm.
No, I would never do
for an hour and a half.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Now, if it were that money and the park was open, I'd probably do that
for an hour and a half for 90 minutes.
Well, but it's the whole park.
Because you can't. Well, yeah, but
90 minutes is that's a man. That would go by in a flash.
Run around that much.
Yeah. No, I take it back. I still wouldn't do it.
Yeah. You also get breakfast though.
Oh well, come on.
But
man. You didn't say that.
But the breakfast lasts half an hour after. So the breakfast is available for 2 hours
after.
Yeah, so you can go. You can go to Toy
okay,
Story Land and do everything, and then you can go get some breakfast.
Why in God's name would you pay extra money to go eat breakfast?
Well, no, it's included.
No, well, no, you're paying for it though, because it's free. I know it's included in the $80.
It's free with your $80.
Huh?
It's free with your $80.
Okay. No, that seems like a ridiculous deal. What do you think of it?
Yeah. No, there's no way I would pay that.
No.
If it was, at least 2 hours, maybe, but 90 minutes, that can go by in a heartbeat, man.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. So we'll do an experiment here. So let's just just to round it up, it's $80 a person.
Okay.
So whatever your family for is what 30. Yeah, 320. If I did that right. Okay. What circumstances? You're going there for a week, like a usual trip. What circumstances would get you to part with that $320 for like a line jumping early access, whatever kind of thing? What would make you part with that money?
And I don't have access to Park Leap, where I can manage
nice. Yes, no. For whatever reason, that we've taken your phone and you can't use that. Yeah.
I would say just in Hollywood Studios or
no.
any.
Yeah. Let's start with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's say
Hollywood Studios. I would say if you do it for
pre-Star Wars, just
okay. Right. Okay. I would say if you do it for at least 2 hours, and you include Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster, I would consider paying that to be able to have access to those two and Toy Story Land, even though they're a ways away.
Yeah.
I would run. I would do that.
Mr. Welch, we're not far off from a deal here. I mean, we're only talking about an extra half an hour and a couple of rides, right?
True.
Okay, so it's actually pretty close.
So Sunset Boulevard, you open that up, and Toy Story Land.
Yeah.
For 2 hours. 2 hours, and then because then I can just run, do Tower of Terror and obviously, and then Rock and Roller Coaster, do them a couple times, and do that in like maybe 30 minutes, right? And then head over to Toy Story Land. Yeah, I would do that.
Okay, that surprised me.
For $320, yeah, that'd be worth it.
Okay, all right. 2 hours, I know, it still seems kind of short though. I know it's not likely, but like 3 hours, like $100 an hour seems like. Now you're talking.
Yeah,
I don't know. But, and part, the comparison is like e-ticket night, as it used to be called, or whatever it is, where, and it used to be
$10.
Relatively cheap. Yeah, it was like under $25 for the longest time. And that's basically what it was. It was like 90 extra minutes, right?
Yeah.
And you had the 5 biggest rides left open, or whatever it was. So that's a big jump to get up to.
Yeah, it is.
To 80 a person. All right. Is this on now? Are people doing this?
It's available, sure. I don't know if people are doing it, but
yeah, I don't know if you saw on the internets or something if people were.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that I have no idea the popularity of it or not, but it's there. It's available. I wouldn't think it would be that popular, but
especially for a Toy Story Land, just because I don't know. I mean, certainly, who knows what they'll have when Star Wars opens up, but something like that for sure, people would be throwing money at it. But
yeah,
maybe they're testing it. Maybe it's a test.
True. And you're right. I mean, like Toy Story Land. I wasn't excited about it in the beginning.
Yes, we know.
Like, I don't know that. I would rather just wait in line for the roller coaster. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, and they don't seem that long. They're not multi-hour waits at this point.
Not
right?
anymore. So, yeah.
Hmm.
And that's what and I'm being quite serious. If I had Park Leap and I could see, oh, hey, you know what? At 7:00 tonight, the wait's only 15 minutes. Traditionally that's how it works out. Then guess what? I'll come back later. I know that there's a window later in the day or whenever.
Yep.
That I can come back. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yep. That seems like a smarter use of your money. And that thing's only like $9. So
yeah, right.
Think about that.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
You're saving. You're saving. $310.
I'm gonna have to talk to our marketing department. Update some of our materials. That's a good point you make there. All right. So only at this park, though, right? At the present time.
Yeah, well, the other is the Disney After Hours. That's similar, right, for the Magic Kingdom.
Right.
But that is for, I think, 3 hours, and it's $125.
But it's the Magic Kingdom, right? So
that is the Magic Kingdom, and I think all of the attractions are open.
At least the e-ticket stuff, which is how they used to do that stuff. Yeah, that I would do. Just one night on a week-long family vacation, spend another $400 and do that. I would absolutely bake that into my prices.
Yeah,
for sure. Okay, so, glad we worked that out.
I know.
I feel I saved myself $300 now. I'm gonna go buy something.
Look at that, we're saving people money.
Saving people money. Okay, that's a good one.
This episode is sponsored by ParkLeap. Do you hate waiting in lines for your favorite rides at Disney World, Universal, and Disneyland? Of course you do. Everyone does. ParkLeap tracks current wait times for attractions in real time, analyzes them, and gives you immediate guidance on what to ride now and what to skip for a shorter wait later on. ParkLeap saves you time so you can do more, see more, and ride more. Many theme parks provide their own apps, which is great, but they only report the times. You'll only get information, you don't get guidance. Is that 40-minute wait good or bad? ParkLeap can tell you. ParkLeap also includes an interface that is clean, quick, and easy to use. Many vacationers travel to multiple theme parks. Now one app does it all. Whether you're a local resident, an annual pass holder, or travel great lengths once a year or every few years, you want to make the most of your time and money. This is the app to get to help you do that. Get ParkLeap in the Apple App Store. And thank you to ParkLeap for sponsoring Starport 75.
What else? What other crazy things is Disney doing?
Well, the only other thing I could really find for news was pretty depressing, and I'll just mention it. But we'll move on. I'm not even going to comment on it because it's ridiculous. But Disney went up on annual passes this week. They were announced.
Yeah, I'm surprised you're not commenting on it. This is big news, right?
I don't want it to become
because you can't control yourself.
It's always become, it's already become the Glenn complains about Disney prices. So I'm not even gonna. I'm not, because I don't want to compound that reputation I have, and so we'll just move on from that. But yeah, their annual passes, the highest the highest one, the premium platinum, whatever it is, goes from like $800 to $850, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So and then it's goes up about $50 for everyone over last year. So I don't know how that affects you, being a Florida resident, and I guess you'll just see a few dollars a month.
I'm sure there'll be a bump
increase
in there. Yeah. I mean, you kind of expect it's going to go up, and if we were going to talk about it, and I guess we're not, but if we were, I'd be saying all kinds of things like, well, Glenn, supply and demand, and what are you going to do, and but
yep. So yeah, look, let Disney, their business, let them do it, and let's see what happens, right? I mean, that's all we can do.
Well, I thought the most enlightening thing was you shared. I don't know where you got it, the chart from, but you shared a chart. Where was it?
I made it.
You made that?
Yes, I made that.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh, well, you should publish that. Is that up on Starport?
I can.
You should.
No, I can put it up there.
Okay, I didn't know that. So, is a chart comparing basically, a line for inflation, right? Just roughly, kind of the curve for inflation, and then the park prices, and that really shows how. And we've talked about it so many times on this show. Is it seems like things are just getting so much more expensive, and that data shows that it clearly is. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
It's probably risen at 2 to 3 times the rate of inflation.
Oh yeah. It tracked. So apparently Disney didn't have annual passes before 1982.
Okay.
So when they were introduced, that was the 0.0, right? And then so I went to the the government website that the Consumer Price Index.
Yeah.
That tracks the rate of inflation, so I applied that to that base of 100. It was $100 in 1982.
Okay, that made it easy
for the two parks for Epcot and Magic Kingdom, and you can see a little bump,
crazy.
A very slight bump when Hollywood Studios opened.
Yeah, Yep.
But not much. It really wasn't that much. And then again, when Animal Kingdom opened, it went up a little bit more because I think they were realizing, okay, now you're getting 4 parks instead of 3.
That kind of makes sense.
And I can go along with that. But then, then after that, it just in the past decade, it just like.
Well, there was a big jump in 15, I saw, for some reason. I don't remember.
Yeah, well, if you think back, it was around 2014, 2015. That's when New Fantasyland opened.
Oh, right.
And then Pandora. And so they,
Pandora.
They're trying
funny.
They're trying to make it look like they're tying it to openings of things. And so, whatever. But yeah, I can certainly publish that on Starport 75.
Yeah, it's good. I thought you stole. I mean,
no, I was so upset that I needed to see for myself what it, that it wasn't just a feeling, right? That it seems like it. No, I wanted to see
really is.
Actual dollars, and I found a site that had the actual cost of the annual pass, and then, like I said, I went to the. Get the actual inflation and just plugged them in and it really it just at a glance you can see you're not just thinking it.
So a couple more requests then. It'd be interesting to see like median household income.
Okay.
And so you'd see like the percentage of median household income.
Write this down.
That an annual pass would be. That'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah, it would be.
And then I want the same thing for Disney Cruise Line because I feel that's more expensive, but I don't have any charts. I need a chart. I'm in management. I need charts.
Well, that's what I did.
But not for Disney Cruise Line.
Oh no, but how am I?
I don't know.
I'll see.
I'm in management. I just wave my hand.
So am I, but
get things
done.
I
still get my hands dirty with charts.
They're fun. Did you say get your hands dirty?
Yes, they're
with
fun,
charts,
man. Yes.
It's like you're out there with your pickaxe chipping away at the data.
That's right.
That's awesome.
I'll pivot table this.
I still don't get pivot tables. I mean, I get them, but I don't.
They're so handy. Come on.
I know you're like the Excel wizard. I don't understand it, but it's okay. All right, I expect those on my desk by morning.
No, okay.
Welch. I should say that right. Make it like a good 50s kind of. I expect that on my desk by morning, Welch.
There you go. All
right, I'm just working on it.
Hey, it didn't work a decade ago. It's not going to work.
Yeah, it certainly did not work. Well, I got you to leave the state, so maybe.
Yeah, well.
It's good enough.
So silly.
People are like, what are they talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of which, just a little side note here. So, I saw you publish our last episode today, and it was while I was putting my boy to bed, and I started playing the podcast. And he's like, what are they talking about? I'm like, oh, that's not a that's my little audience test. That's not a good sign. So maybe we get more of that than we think. But the funny part was, I had it on my phone, right? And so you have the show notes there, which are very handy, by the way. I appreciate the show notes. And he's listening, and we weren't talking about the topic, but he just all of a sudden he read it and he said, I said, what's the matter? He said, Spaceship Earth is closing for 2 years? I said, yes, it is. See, you learn all kinds of things from this show.
That's right.
And then he said, and he's only 7. He's like, they're not going to change it, are they? I love that ride. I'm like, oh, I have, there's so few times, Glenn, that you feel you get validation as a parent, like you're doing the right thing. Mm-hmm. But at that moment, I felt vindicated that I was, I'm probably screwing up in 100 other ways, but at least I got him appreciating the right attractions.
That's right. I had a very similar thing when the news that they were closing Maelstrom. And of all things, like Maelstrom, like who...
Yeah.
Like, okay, it was a good ride, I guess, but it's not, it's not, we got to go ride Maelstrom, right?
Yeah.
The kids were still to this day, like they'll make comments about, I can't believe they put Frozen where Maelstrom used to be. I'm like, really? Of course, I'm still holding
and you're like,
grudge, but
I love you kids. I love you kids so much.
Right.
That's awesome. Raising the right Disney fans.
That's right.
Anyway, it's funny. I can't relate, but it was just funny, unexpected. But yeah, he was like, "What are you guys talking about?" I don't know.
Very important things.
Yeah, sure.
Just do earmuffs at the end of the episode.
I didn't get that far into it. I forgot all about that. I'm hoping the editing happened.
Oh, it happened. All right. It's pretty good.
Bananas. All right. Well, after that, what else? What else we chatting about? You were quizzing me earlier about something. I feel there's more traps awaiting me. But
no traps actually. Like I said, I didn't want to harp too much on complaining about Disney. I think I've done way too much of that in the past few episodes.
Well, it's just the same newsflash every time. Newsflash: Disney wants more money from everybody. I know. Okay. Oh, all right. Newsflash: Disney becomes more expensive. Okay.
So part of what we have for Starport 75 and part of this podcast is talking about old things, right? And some of what we experienced as younger adults or kids or whatever. And we had this on our backlog list for a while now, and we've never had a chance to really get to it. So I thought, it's a good time to pull this one out.
Okay. So
when I was younger, I was a Disney nut way back when, and I was also a fan of video games and computers and everything else. And so there was a game that came out for me at least. I know they had a few other games. Actually, no, this does look like it was the first one that was based on a Disney park. And this video game's called Adventures in the Magic Kingdom. It was for the NES way back when. In 1990 it was released. And Chris...
So you're trying to tell me you were a kid in 1990?
I was... Shut up. I was... in 1990, I
you were
was
like in
not
school,
in my 20s. So I was still a teenager.
Okay. I guess we'll go with that technicality. Adventures what? What do we...
So it's called Adventures in the Magic Kingdom.
And
I played this game until my thumbs bled.
Wow. Okay. So describe it. What?
All right. So it was, an 8-bit game, and you had to,
which are all the rage again, by the way. Right.
Oh, so. Well, yeah, I know that. Right. So you had to go around the Magic Kingdom and collect keys. Okay, so what you would do, you would walk around, and they had this very, very basic, essentially horrible map of the Magic Kingdom. But look, in 1990 on the NES, it was spectacular.
Well, hey,
it was like
the real maps back then weren't all that amazing.
So you would walk up Main Street, and then I think you would meet Mickey Mouse, and he would ask you some trivia questions. And if you got him right, he'd be like, okay, you have to go over here to go get the first key. And so you would go, let's say, to the Haunted Mansion. Okay. And they had, I forget how many attractions they had, but maybe 6 or so, maybe one for each land. So you would go to Haunted Mansion, and it was kind of like, Mario Brothers a little bit, right? It was a scroller.
Yeah. Okay.
Where, and you'd have to avoid the monsters, and I think you had candlesticks that you would throw to try to kill them, but you had to make it through there to get the key.
You know what this kind of looks like a little bit? I'm watching YouTube videos while we're chatting here. It kind of looks like a little bit, but I guess they all did kind of back in that era. It almost looks like a Zelda game almost.
A little bit, a little bit, yeah,
no?
A little bit.
But you played solo. You had like your own little character you go through.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, look, he's going through the Haunted Mansion. How cool is that?
And so it looked cool, and they had like the ballroom, and they had ghosts, and it was the closest thing I could get at home, to being there, and it was the greatest thing. And so I played this so much. So here's the so it had Space Mountain, but you were in Space Mountain. It was like you were in the car, and it would give you an arrow, and you'd have to hit the up button when you saw the up arrow. You'd have to hit the left button and you only had like a second to do that. And so it was way more difficult than it really should have been. I mean, it was tough.
Well, they had to do something. I mean,
they did. But so anyway, I recently set up a MAME
I was going to ask you. Okay.
Yeah. And so this is one, and I recently played it. I'm like, oh hey, let me play this again. It is the worst game. Oh my!
That's
God.
how it always goes, man.
It really is.
You can't go home again.
You really can't. It was. I'm like, oh my God, I do kind of remember this, and then it is awful. It's just plain awful. But
so
you know what?
It was the Disney World connection that.
Oh my God! Absolutely.
That did it, right?
Absolutely.
Well, look at that. He just went through pirates. Look at that. This guy has to jump through like fireballs and stuff. Oh, there's the redhead. Hey, the redhead's there.
She is.
That's funny. Okay. So you don't recommend something, because I was, you're talking about this and I'm like, you know what? I've been wanting to set up a little. I've seen a project where you can build like a portable NES with a Raspberry Pi and stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought that'd be kind of fun, but you just talked me out of this.
No.
So
I bring it up to. I mean, I would recommend that you play it just to see what it was, because I think it was fairly. Well, I don't know how popular it was, but to me, it seemed like it should have been popular.
It got good ratings. I mean, from the Wikipedia page of, kind of whatever. I don't know who rates these things, but it was like 4.5 out of 5.
Right.
Well, that's something.
Nah.
All right. This was like the first Disney.
So that was the first. Yeah, that was the first Disney video game I ever played.
Huh. Okay.
That I'm sure there were some others that were, somewhat related, maybe a Mickey Mouse one or something like that. But dealing with the parks, like this was mind blowing, because I'm like, they actually made a video game about the Magic Kingdom. Like that, I'm like, this is unreal.
Yeah, there were some Mickey Mouse one. I'm looking at actually Wikipedia. There's a pretty nice list of Disney video games page.
Yeah, I had no idea there were just so many.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Those are Mickey Mouse games. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So do they have section on? Oh my gosh, there's like 1 billion games.
I know. So scroll down to close to the end, and it has the Walt Disney Parks and Resorts games.
Okay. So clearly what you need to do is you need to make it a goal to play all of these games.
Yeah.
Like Pixar games. Dick Tracy games. I don't know how you count that. All right. Walt Disney Parks and Resorts games.
Disney Emoji Blitz. Hey, I play that.
Well, of course you do. Everybody does. Hey, this was the first Disney Parks one, I guess.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. So that's why it was so wild. So did you play any video games? There's another one that I played, but before I get into that, I want to hear from you and see if there were any. And it doesn't have to be park related, but anything that you played that was Disney that was kind of made that connection for you.
Well, the first thing was, and we talked about it a number of episodes back, and I don't know if it counts as a game, but the Walt Disney World Explorer. They list it here as a game, not really a game. They do. Quasi game. You had to hunt for the hidden Mickeys, but that was the first thing I thought of. Other than that, no, I don't think so. And again, back then, I'm not sure I would have. I think probably it was probably more like in the early 2000s. Mm-hmm. There was Kingdom Hearts. That was like a big deal, right?
It was a big deal. It still is, I think.
Yeah, isn't there like a new one coming out or something?
Yeah, there is.
I'm looking at the list here. So there's a Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out in next year. Looks like. I guess that's a big deal. Which I always thought that was kind of a weird game, because it's especially because the art style isn't very Disney, but it's like Disney characters. Am I the only one that feels this way? But
no,
I mean, it's kind of cool because it's kind of like anime. I'm gonna use all the wrong old man terms here, but kind of anime-ish. But with the Disney characters and very sort of Japanese feeling. So I played that on PlayStation 2 back in the 2000s. Other than that, I think you and I played some racing game one time. Wasn't there a racing game where you raced around the parks?
Yeah, so that's the other one that I played. It's called Walt Disney World Quest Magical Racing Tour.
Okay.
And I had it for PlayStation and Game Boy Color.
Ooh,
I know,
fancy you.
right?
You didn't have it for the Dreamcast? I see.
No, it was also released for the Dreamcast and for Windows. But I had PlayStation and the Game Boy Color one, and I still have both of them.
Of course you do. I'm looking at the box art here. This was a kind of fun game.
This was an excellent game, and it's still an excellent game.
Yeah, okay.
It's a lot of fun. And it came out. You know what? I don't know when the first Mario Kart came out. But I think it was probably around the same time, because this is actually the first kart game that I ever played, where you could, you were racing, but you could also throw stuff at other.
Oh, like a Mario Kart type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one I know mostly. Okay,
yeah,
I got you.
So yeah, and this had this came out in 2000, the year 2000. And it took place at Walt Disney World. So you would actually go to, they had Blizzard Beach was included.
Oh wow.
I think they had Rock and Roller Coaster. And then they even had like Dinosaur. And for Dinosaur, I don't think it was really a race. It was more of a battle. So it varied from mini game to mini game, but they were still just like in the Adventures in the Magic Kingdom game, the earlier game. It was similar. You had to go through and win the race to get, I think, a piece of, I could be wrong about this, a piece of the fireworks machine.
Oh wow! Okay.
So that like Mickey would come to you and, hey, we need help making the fireworks machine, and you had to collect all the pieces, and then at the end, if you do that, you see the fireworks.
Right.
So anyway, I love this game, and yeah, you and I may have played this.
Yeah, I think during a hurricane one time.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
There's not much else to do. Oh, okay. Now, more recently I played, because I was thinking about it when you asked me, more recently I played this one, I think it's called Disney Kingdoms. Let me check. Disney Magic Kingdoms.
Okay.
On iOS, like on an iPad, essentially. Have you seen this game?
I've seen it, but I haven't played it.
Yeah, you should. It's kind of not good in that it's, kind of modern style of these kind of casual games where it's like, you got an in-app purchase to buy diamonds and stuff if you don't want to wait for things or whatever. So it has those same mechanics, but it's kind of fun in that you're kind of unlocking things in a Magic Kingdom, and you have to do like quests. Like Mickey will say, "Hey, I need help getting whatever," and you do a little quest. And if you do that, you get enough points, and you can open up new lands and whatever. So you kind of unlock all the parts to the park. It's not a literal representation of any one of the parks, but it's sort of an amalgam of the different Magic Kingdoms, and it's kind of fun. It's gotten some good ratings. Looks like it's a 9 out of 10 from various folks. So
cool.
That one's fun. My son was playing that for a while. So that's probably, if you kind of fast forward, that's probably the more recent thing they've done related.
I think I've seen commercials for it, or these trailers for it. And I think I always thought it was like a princess game.
No, well, so yeah, I can see why, because they have, and I don't know why they do that. They like some screenshots here. It's like Cinderella, and another one's Tangled, one's Mickey. But no, it's really not. It's it's definitely it feels like a kid's game, right? Yeah. They're probably targeting, family, but it's fun if you just want to go and do things to unlock different attractions and things. It's kind of fun for that.
That's cool.
It's kind of neat.
I have to give it a try.
Yeah. So, any others that were notable that?
Those were the two that I played, and I played both of those a lot, like way more, especially like the Magical Racing Tour. Like I played that way more than I don't know, almost 30-year-old should when it came out. So yeah.
How about this one? This sounds like something I would have liked, and it sounds like your nightmare. Virtual Magic Kingdom. Do you remember this?
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. I played that a little bit. I didn't get too much into that. But yeah, I remember they used to have, in fact, the Main Street Cinema on Main Street in the Magic Kingdom. They used to have posters advertising it there, and I think you could go in there and like create your character. Like they would get your start.
Oh right, yeah, that's right.
But,
I don't remember this too much. Like the logo looks familiar to me, but basically it's like a virtual world. Kind of.
It was, and that's what I didn't like. It was like a what is it? The massively multiplayer online,
right? Mm-hmm.
And you'd create a character, have your little house or room or whatever, and but you'd have to interact with people, and I don't like doing that in real life. So I
but they're not real people. They're like virtual people.
Well, no, it was real people.
Yeah, but you don't know that. Just it's just virtual. Like, here's the part that would have sold me today is I can't believe you wouldn't be into this. A character could wear up to 15 pins, so other players could see them in his or her profile. So you even had pin trading in that.
They did.
Magic
it's
pins.
So weird.
That's weird. This didn't hang around too long. What was this around for?
Yeah, how long did it? So it came out in 2005.
Right. Not too long. A couple years.
Yeah.
Oh, it had a New Orleans square. You didn't play that?
Sure.
Come on, man.
No, I do have all the music from it though.
Well, of course you do. Of course you do. Oh, hey, about that. So, you'll love this. So we had a yard sale or garage sale. What do you guys call it in New Orleans? You garage sale or yard sale? What do you call it?
Yes.
Where you put all your junk outside and other people pay you money for it?
Garage sale generally, but yard
garage
sale.
Yeah, wait, yard sale or garage sale?
Garage sale.
Okay.
But we don't have a garage, so...
Yeah, I know, but like in the Northeast, it's always yard sales. I don't think it's ever garage sale, but like in the South, I
we call it
garage sale. So, okay. Anyway, so we had one of those this past weekend, 2 weekends ago, I don't know, one of the weekends. And we're out there, and I'm like, you know what we need? We need some music.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why, but it was a nice day, and I'm like, you know what? I think maybe I heard the train, because I can hear the train from my house sometimes. All right. And you know what? I'm going to put on some... did I mention that?
I'll talk to you next week. So.
Okay. And I'm like, you know what? We should put on some Disney like parks music. Like, because then I'm also thinking like merchandising, right? Because like stores are always like, you need to have music to kind of get people in the mind. I know what it was that made me think about it. Every time we have a garage yard sale, somebody comes up. This is what made me think of it. Somebody comes up and says, are you selling any Disney pins? And I'm like, I don't know why that's surprising. Like, it shouldn't, but it does. I don't know why it does. Does that surprise you?
It's something I would never have thought about, but it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. And I lie and I say I don't, but I mean, I've got a massive ton of book full of them, but I'm not going to sell them.
No.
Because I don't know what they're worth.
Way too valuable.
They might be. Some of those I got long ago.
I know. I'm being serious. They could be valuable.
Your little voice is going up, so I know you're messing with me. But anyway, so I think it was that. It made me think, I need some music. So I got my little Bluetooth speaker out and I put on some music. Mm-hmm. And I put it on like shuffle from like, Disney Parks Greatest Music, probably some CD I stole from you or something. And can I admit that? Is that like a statute of limitations? Is that okay?
Yeah.
I mean, some legitimate music that I purchased of park music.
Yes.
And so it's going through, and all of a sudden, it's like story night for my son. But anyway, my son looks at me and goes, "Oh, Dad, not that ride." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And it was the Country Bear Jamboree, Country Bear Jamboree music. So I just like, I got to mention this to Glenn that like even just unprovoked, he has that much dislike for that attraction. I just thought I'd share that with you.
You know what?
What?
It's whatever.
But then Tiki Birds came on. That was great. So it was nice. So anyway, the point of the story is, one, that's a stupid attraction. But the other point of the story is garage sale, yard sale, Disney music's pretty good. Especially if you have any kind of Disney stuff at all. Kind of works. Yeah. How do we get on that? Pins? Music?
Yeah.
Anyway. So, yeah. So, games we were talking about. Right. So any other games? Is it worth, like, if somebody hasn't played these games, like, let's say somebody's in their, I don't know, 20s, 30s, whatever, and they're like, what are these old men talking about? Should they go load up any of these old ones? Like, what would be worth going back and doing?
The Magical Racing Tour, absolutely. That would be fun to play.
Do you have to be like into racing for that, or is it just it's a fun game no matter what?
Not at all. It's just a fun. If you like Mario Kart, you'll like it. If you like Mario Kart and the Disney parks, and you always wondered, hey, could they put them together? This is the game for you.
Well, you forgot Chip and Dale. They're right on the cover, so like they always wanted to, have Chip and Dale riding a car.
That's right. You get to pick your character, so you can be Chip or Dale, or they have a whole bunch of.
Everybody would always pick Mickey, though. What'd you pick? Did you?
Well, you don't get Mickey in the beginning. Like, you have to unlock him, but
I guess that makes sense.
I think it was always Dale.
Stitch? Can it be Stitch?
I don't know. Thank God Stitch wasn't around.
It's pre-Stitch.
So
Okay.
anyway, I just
Good
I've been wanting to talk about this, and yeah, it was nice that they had actual video game. They came out with video games based on the parks. Now, when the Magical Racing Tour came out, I was living in Orlando, so but it was still really cool. But the first one, Adventures of the Magic Kingdom, it was mind blowing. As a it's like, man, they made this game for me, and I played that thing all the time.
Disney Magical World. Did we talk about that one? Did we talk about that?
No.
Oh, it was a 3DS game. Did you ever play that one?
No.
It must have been good. They made 2 of them.
Did they? Disney Magical World. I don't even know what that is.
Well, there you go.
Oh, look at that.
Look at. I'm trying to see like what was kind of somewhat recent.
Oh yeah.
I guess a Connect thing, which I can't do that.
No. I did get that. Okay, so that one, yeah. So the Disneyland Adventures, they
what is that?
Came out with it for the Xbox 360. And it required the Kinect sensor, and you would stand there in front of it. And I bought it, but I never played it because I just wanted a copy of it.
Okay.
But I saw people post videos of them playing it and everything else. But so you would stand there and you would, with your arms, you would say, okay, like go forward, and you'd have to keep your arms out, and your character on the screen walked. But everybody was complaining because their arms got tired because they had to keep them like out or to the right or left, and so it was a lot of physical activity, which you should never have in a video game. unless you're playing VR, and then okay. But this was certainly not VR.
Yeah.
So anyway, but then they came out with it just recently for the Xbox One that didn't need the Kinect, and I haven't gotten it.
We should get it and report back.
I know.
So what do you do?
You walk around Disneyland and you meet the characters. There's a couple. I think there's a few attractions you can go in, but I don't know how much you can actually go in them. But quite honestly, like the Minecraft, Magic Kingdom that they've built is more immersive than this thing.
That thing is amazing. We talked about that.
It is amazing.
A long time ago. But that, that special modded Minecraft server that's out there. Yeah, I think it's a MC.
It's been so long.
I have to look at. Maybe we put it in the show notes. But it's But anyway, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's amazing how what a large scale that is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and VR, right?
VR now.
I wonder if we can play that in VR.
We've talked about this before. Somebody put up a fantasy commercial, and I sent it to you, and this was a while ago. But wouldn't it be awesome if somebody if Disney would go ahead and recreate their extinct attractions in VR, and even if they charge for them, I would pay. I'd pay $40 for Horizon.
I'd pay that $300 I'm not paying to go to that extra 90 minutes at the studios.
Right.
Maybe not that much, but yeah, that'd be cool.
But why not? Awesome. I mean, I would do that in a heartbeat. That would be the greatest thing that they could ever do.
It's not a game. I don't remember if we talked about it before, but it's not really a game, but to kind of bring this up to the really modern era. So, and I think you try this. So, like on an Oculus, you can do the Google Maps thing.
Yeah.
Which it's not just a map. You basically fly down because that Street View thing, right? So like you can see. So they've done like a Street View for the parks, and like in VR, you can not real time move, kind of like Street View where you click from one point to another. But it is remarkably like being there. So do that and throw on some music to listen to while you do that, and that's pretty cool. It's kind of a game.
It's very cool, and you can change the time of day, so you can be there at night. I forgot about that. Yeah.
I gotta go load up the VR now.
No.
But they need to. There's so much. It seems like there's so much opportunity there. They can
Yeah.
Did you ever look at that? I think I mentioned to you before. There's like a Disney. I don't know what the name of it is. I should. It's almost like just sort of a sandboxy kind of, not really a game, but more of a demo kind of thing where it's there's like they have a segment for Coco because that was coming out right when they did it, and a section for Star Wars and a section for the Avengers.
Yeah, I never did do that. No.
Oh, you should. It's some really neat effects with that for VR. But there's a park, one of them for the parks.
Okay,
that's kind of neat. There's not too much to do there, but it seems like there's a huge opportunity there. They should be taking advantage of.
Yeah.
Maybe we should build it, license it, go make it.
That'd be awesome.
All right, let's go. All right, that's fun. I feel like I got to go play video games now. So let's wrap this up.
All right, sounds good. All right, so that's it for this week.
Okay. Well, fun little trip. Yeah. All right, so maybe next week we'll do news again because
hopefully there'll be more
things going on. More prices to be raised.
We've covered so much in the past couple episodes.
There's a lot going on.
A lot was going on. The only big thing really was the annual passes. And so, maybe there'll be some more updates on building and new attractions and maybe some other good stuff.
All right. I look forward to it.
Yep.
All right. Till next time then.
All right.
See you real soon.
Yep. Bye.
You see what I did there?
I did.
You like that? All right,
I like that. Bye. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Starport 75. Follow Chris on Twitter and Instagram at CBGray, and Glenn on Twitter and Instagram at DizWiz. Follow the show on Twitter and Facebook at Starport 75 and Instagram at TheStarport75. For all things related to the show, including show notes and links to connect with us, visit us at starport75.com.